Hi everyone, welcome to this new video. Last weekend, we all received the sad news that Tony Hsieh, the CEO and founder of Zappos, passed away at the age of 46. He was always a true source of inspiration for me in gathering new ideas about customer experience. And I had the pleasure to meet him for the very first time in 2008 at the Word of Mouth Marketing Conference in Las Vegas. And I was really impressed with him. I'm still very proud that in my book, The Conversation Company, that he wrote a small blurb to recommend it to his colleagues and his friends. That made me proud. And I wanted to make this video with some of the key lessons that I've learned from Tony Hsieh and that I still use a lot during my customer experience talks and when I give coaching to companies. Tony Hsieh was one of the people who really believed in the idea of word-of-mouth marketing. He told his colleagues and his clients, we're not selling shoes, we're delivering happiness, which is also the title of his book that I can strongly recommend. But he believed in playing the long-term game. He was one of the first people that came up with the idea that you can buy shoes, and if you don't like them, you can send them back. They even used a 365-day return policy. And the world, of course, thought that he was crazy because they were like, okay, Tony, they will buy your shoes, they will go to the wedding party and then send them back. And he always was like, yeah, but that's only a minority of the people that will act like this. The majority will just use it as a service to get the best possible shoes they want. And I want to help him with that. And back in 2010, when he started with that, that was like a crazy idea. Today, buying stuff and sending back is the norm in the world of e-commerce, but he came up with that mentality. He believed in the fact that you had to bring a wow experience, that would result in word of mouth, and that would result in business, financial business results. So he was one of those people that really believed in playing the long-term game by delivering an outstanding service, relying on the fact of word of mouth. And in that situation, you don't need traditional advertising. That was his philosophy, and it played out really, really well for him. I had the pleasure to visit the contact center of Zappos a couple of times in their headquarters in Las Vegas, and I was really impressed with their mentality. The KPI that they used was, are people really happy with the answer they got? They weren't looking into how long did a call last. And in fact, they did it the other way around. They were very proud at a certain moment that a call could last for hours and that their employees took hours of time to help their customers. They used that as smart PR, by the way. So they only looked at the fact if people were happy. And I still remember the question they asked in a survey to measure if people were happy with the service in the contact center. They asked their customers the following question: would you hire the person you just spoke with if you were a CEO of a company? And I love that question. It goes so much deeper than just saying, are you satisfied? No, would you hire this person that you just talked with? And they wanted to reach a target of 90%. And I still remember I was in the contact center and they had like 88.5% that day. And they were all like, okay, we have to do much more and we have to do go the extra mile today to make sure that we reach that 90%. And I was so charmed by the fact that they used these alternative customer-centric KPIs to create an outstanding customer service in their contact center. Having a good contact center is one thing. Another philosophy of Tony Hsieh was that you have to make sure that people can call you as much as they want. You have to make it as easy as possible to be reached. So on every page of their website, they have their phone number to make sure that people have easy access to their channels. All their customer service channels are just advertised everywhere. Whereas most traditional companies, they have these call avoidance programs, right? And they try to make sure that people don't call to the contact center. So in Zappos, they turned that around and they said, if people have a question, they have to be able to call us. And then we have the opportunity to give them outstanding service. Then they will trust us. And as a consequence, they will buy more from our site in the future. But we have to make sure that they can reach out to us in an easy way. I'm still very fascinated about the hiring and HR strategy that Tony Hsieh used at Zappos. When you start at Zappos, of course, you have to go through all the different departments and you have to work in the customer contact center to make sure that you really are embedded in that customer service philosophy. But then after 6 weeks, you were invited in Tony's office. And then he made you a proposal. He said, you can quit your job now and I will pay you 3 months of salary as a bonus to leave our company. And he always checked upon that because he was convinced if people were just in it for the money, they could take the money and leave. He wanted to give them that opportunity. And he wanted to make sure that people were with him because of the culture and that they really believed in the philosophy. And he told me once, he said, you know what, about 3% of the new hires actually take the money and run. Imagine that I wouldn't have done that for 3 or 4 years. Then after a while, 25% of my employees would be working for me and not believing in my culture and my philosophy, and I would never be able to turn that around again. So I had to make sure that they leave early in the process, and I'm willing to pay for that. I'm willing to invest in that to guard my culture and make sure that every 100% of my employees is part of the story that I would like to tell my customers. And I thought that was an amazing philosophy. A lot of people think when you are so excited about customer experience that you don't care about making money, and that would be a mistake. I can guarantee you Tony Hsieh was interested in making money. When you were next to his desk, he had this desk in the middle of the Zappos office, there was a screen on the wall next to him. And there you could see in real time the amount of money that was coming in during that day. So you could see every time someone was ordering shoes, you saw the revenue go up. And they had, you know, every time that when they broke a record, they had a party. Of course, they had a lot of parties. And then they made like a medal or a trophy of saying, we broke another sales record. And that was also part of the culture. They were also celebrating the financial success. And I think that's an important one. It's not because you believe in the long-term effort of outstanding customer service that has to fight with short-term results. Zappos had an enormous growth pattern in their early days because of the fact that they were so customer-centric. It was a consequence of their belief that they had short-term results. So those two didn't have to fight, and Tony Hsieh really understood this very, very well. So everyone, those were the 5 lessons that I will always remember from Tony Hsieh. He was a source of inspiration for me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, please like the video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you again in one of my next videos. Bye-bye. Take care.